Yesterday we were here in the play where IGD broke up the pass to Jeremiah. Jeremiah goes to the ground. IGD starts talking to him a little bit. You're right there. Jeremiah gets up, doesn't say anything, and he's the first person you kind of give a 5 to. Why is that?
Oh, on 4?
Yeah.
On Jeremiah? I mean, because it's great competitive excellence, man. They go at it. We get each other better. Excellent football player, man. So I always got to make sure, we keep those guys' confidence. They do the same with us. It's good competitive spirit, man. He's going to be an elite player. You know what I mean? So we always try to make sure with our group, Zone 6 and BIA, that we compete in a loving manner.
How many people do you think you have in your room right now where you could throw them out there on the game and feel confident in what they can do?
We probably not going to 5. We have 5 guys right now for sure. Possibly another one. So, it's still early. So you'll know a little bit more a week from now. You know what I mean? When you start playing, scrimmage a little bit and get into some other situations. Because now you know how it is about can you do it over a period of time. You know what I mean? Can you stack 6, 7, 8, 9 days in a row to see if we can, what we got. Could be, he's in that mix of stuff. You know what I mean? It's got to play out a little bit more, like I said, because you got to do it over time, man. You got to make sure it's a true eval on how it's going on all situations and all days stacked up.
Have you ever had a room like
this? Talking about how there's a bit of concern with the nickel depth. Is there concern in your eyes, and where are you at with that position?
No, there's no concern with our depth. We're fine. We got a lot of guys that play that spot. We've been, just been moving guys there throughout spring, and we did it during camp. So our depth is fine there.
Where's Lorenzo at his recovery?
He's good. He's healthy. He's been good to go. So he has the yellow jersey on, but he's been practicing fine, and he's good to go.
You've been doing this for a long time. 5 guys in a room. I think that's like 9 guys in cornerback wide. Have you ever had a room that deep in terms of playable guys who are game ready?
No, we got a deep room. We got guys that have experience. We got some good upcoming young guys that have talent. They got to gain experience. You're usually gonna do that through game days, But we have a good group. We have good depth. We just got to keep it going and keep growing.
Where does Calvin?
Most teams are happy to have one lockdown corner. It looks like you've got at least 2. And Jordan. How good do you feel about those guys right now? Whoever's against them.
Yeah, we feel good. I mean, we feel good. We're gonna play. We get work at practice every day against the best we're gonna see, man. And we start talking about those guys over there with Jeremiah, with Mac, Cardell. They got some really good dudes that we go against every day. They're different body types. You got Brandon Ennis, the different skill sets, different lengths, different heights, different speeds. So we get really good work going against really good guys at different positions. So that'll make us feel good on Saturday going in with matchup wise. What's that? Yeah, but you saw how I walked it off with that, right? It was easy. I didn't flinch with it, right? It hit me right there, and I just walked it off. You know what I mean?
What makes Aaron capable of being in that group right now this early?
Competitive, coachable, has a passion to play the game, wants to learn, has a lot of energy, man. So that's a part of it, man, that you want to have passion and energy to play the game. So he does a great job with it.
Tim, what's the way Denzel and Davison have been competing out there, at least when we've gotten to watch, what does that just tell you about the culture of your room that you've brought along here? I mean, how do you explain it?
You remember, like we talked about before, we compete in everything. We're competing in our own room to see who the best players are.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So we don't just compete against other guys. We compete in our room. So we have created that environment through that recruiting that you got to compete to come here.
And what does it do for that room when those upperclassmen guys are doing it? You know what I mean?
It just sets the tone and it sets the culture. So it kind of takes care of itself. So, and if you don't do it, you're not going to fit in here. So it's going to be a problem. You know what I mean? So we try to create that competitive spirit because that's what it's going to take to go where we need to go.
Going into the first several games especially, how many guys do you plan to play right now? I mean, at like the corners. Who do you cover?
I don't.
Like 5 a minute ago.
Yeah, I don't sure of the numbers exactly yet, but we got to play. It's a long season, so we got to start getting experience early. We're going to move things around. We got to see how it pans out because we got to create that early so we have the depth and experience as we start going down the stretch of the season. And the only way you get experience is playing.
Is there one guy that's really?
Have an analyst can coach in practice, like kind of the off-field guys before now they can help you coach with. How are you using that with the secondary, like Darren Duhart and some of those?
Well, we use Duhart and Mike Hunter. a lot to help us because they have that experience now, and Mike Hunter has, played the game. He's coached for a while. He actually played for me with the Giants. So he knows a lot of teaching styles, and he's actually been on the field full-time coach also for a minute. So, and Duhart has been with me for a couple of years, second year now. So we use those guys in drills and meetings to help them all hands on deck approach with that. And then Brent Zadevsky helps as well, with the young guys and try to make sure everybody gets some hands-on teaching to escalate their learning.
Is that, I imagine that's pretty beneficial because a year ago they were just watching film and now they can be a little more hands-on. Is that helpful to have more guys be hands-on?
Very beneficial because we can, create meetings and stuff that they can get a lot of individual work with guys what they needed with the pace going so fast in training camp.
Where does Calvin fit into that mix at corner?
He's in the mix of that stuff, you know what I mean? So like I said, we got a big pool of guys, man. We trying to sort it out over time. So we're moving it around, we're giving guys chances to try to see. It's a little early right now, but I think within a week we'll kind of it'll play out itself.
What kind of a jump have you seen from Calvin from year one to where he is now in year two?
He's growing, you know what I mean, because he's doing special teams. Because, he was behind, started out when he came in, and he's kind of done increased his role more on the special teams part. On the defense, got to keep growing, got to keep coming, and in the mix, you got to keep competing every day. You know what I mean? So there's a group of guys there that we're looking to kind of see, who separate themselves within the next week and a half or so.
Tim, when you have a player who's as experienced and accomplished as Denzel is, where are the areas where you look for, I guess, that little bit of growth so that he continues on that developmental plane, even though he hasn't played a lot?
Leadership. We look at the leadership, and we look for him to see game-like situations and see how he's just in practice. So I hold him to a high standard on making right adjustments and making right decisions, even if we haven't really installed it or hit it yet, because you got to play the game now because you know the basics. So you got to play the game every practice on the little details, situations, splits, backfield sets, formations, and I give him challenges every day to ask him questions and tell me what he saw on these things to make sure that even if we didn't hit this and this shows up, you got to think like this on certain scenarios.
Do you challenge him differently than you will challenge the other guys who just haven't played quite as much yet?
A little bit, but I do the same thing with IGB and Jordan. You know what I mean? I do the same thing with those guys that have been around. And then I'm pulling Jermaine into that mix too with the growth of playing the game within the game.
All right, Coach, thank you. All right, Coach, thank you.